Celeste Sleep Clinic. Thank you so much for choosing our services tonight. I hear you've been having a bit of trouble with your sleep and perhaps the amount of sleep you've been getting or staying asleep or anything in the sleep related department. But don't worry, we are here to help. The aim of our services is to try and get a better understanding of you and your sleep and see if there's anything we can do to help improve the quality or the amount of sleep you might be getting. After we run through a short questionnaire, I'm going to go through about 5 triggers and we can see how they work for you, which ones work best, which ones perhaps don't work at all, to see if there are any triggers going forward that might help you kind of get better sleep in the future. So I am just going to start with some very basic questions before we run into the questionnaire. So can I start by taking your full name, please? And your age as well. And also your date of birth as well. Thank you. And an email address as well would be very handy, so we can send you obviously your results instead of having to send it in the post. And then we can also keep you up to date about any kind of like current or future offers or new treatments that we might have going in the future. Yep. Thank you. That is very, very helpful. So now we have that out of the way, we can run on to my nice little list of questions to help kind of get a better understanding of you and your sleep. So the first one is roughly how many hours a night of sleep do you tend to get? And would you say that's kind of like an average, or does it like tend to vary a lot? Thank you. That is very, very helpful. Now, you don't have to answer these questions like too in depth. It's absolutely fine to give me short answers if you'd prefer that. You don't need to think too hardly about them. I don't wish this to be too stressful, as that is not the aim of this questionnaire at all. So, my next question for you is, what time do you tend to wake up and go to sleep each night? Just kind of like the average time. I mean, I know everybody has like whether they go to sleep or early later, but what is like kind of maybe the time you tend to aim for going to sleep? Thank you very much. So the next question is, do you tend to be somebody who sleeps through the night easily, or do you tend to wake up a lot? I know that's something that I personally find hard, is waking up in the night. Like, happens a lot. It's very annoying, but yeah. Thank you. So next we have, are you somebody who tends to dream a lot, or do you suffer from any like bad nightmares or terrors and stuff? Yeah. Would you say that they happen quite often or infrequently? So, and the next question is, do you have any kind of anxieties around sleeping, perhaps around going to sleep, or like bedtime or anything like that? Yeah, that makes sense, yeah. Do you have any kind of nighttime routine, such do you kind of maybe do your skincare? Do you maybe have like a cup of tea or read a book? Or is there anything you kind of like to do leading up to bedtime to perhaps try and relax yourself for going to sleep? As I know a lot of us kind of struggle from going from, say, I don't know, being out with your friends or coming back from work and like going straight to bed. It's quite hard to like kind of get your body to be like, it is sleep time now. Like, I think we all need like a bit of time to wind down before we go to sleep. Yeah. And like, is this something you try to kind of stick to every night, or is it just kind of like some nights you don't tend to do this? Yeah. What would you like to change about your personal sleep habits? What would you say is kind of like the main thing that you would like to get out of coming here today to kind of help improve your sleep? Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I'm sure we can help with that, hopefully. Do you tend to feel like drowsy or really overtired during the day because of perhaps the quality or the perhaps lack of sleep you might be getting? Yeah? I'm sorry, that sounds really hard. And like, does this impact your kind of like day-to-day life? Does it kind of impact on your work or say relationships at all? Yeah. Do you personally, do you feel like you get enough sleep, or do you feel like you need more sleep perhaps per night, or you're actually pretty good in that, you know, you do feel like you're quite well rested after each night? Yeah. Cool. Do you ever sleepwalk? Now this is a bit of a weird one, I know. I mean, it can be kind of hard to tell if, you know, you do any of these like weird kind of like behaviours that perhaps might happen when you're sleeping. Because unless you live with someone, there's kind of like no one to tell you. But like, do you have any knowledge of like sleepwalking or perhaps sleep talking at all? Yeah. And do you ever like put off going to bed? Do you perhaps find yourself finding things to do, or like just kind of like procrastinating around going to bed because it might be like a bit of a stressful time? I mean, I think we can all be a little guilty of that sometimes, so you're not the only one there. Is there like anything that kind of like prevents you from falling asleep, like maybe, I don't know, anxiety or perhaps noise from like neighbours, or like to do with where you live? I know having noisy neighbours, yeah, is especially like a difficult thing to live with. I've had that before. I've had like really noisy neighbours and it's made sleeping like a really stressful thing, so I sympathise. Right, so that is kind of it for my list of questions that I would like to kind of like answer, or for you to answer, so you can get, or I can get, a better idea of you and your sleep. Now we are going to move on to have 5 triggers that I would like to try out, and you can kind of tell me on a scale of 1 to 10 how beneficial you find them, so you can kind of perhaps help deduce what triggers might be the best for you to help aid you in a good night's sleep. So the first one we have is some good old book tapping, favourite of mine. how did you find that on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being you didn't like it at all and 10 being you absolutely loved it and you definitely think that could be a trigger that would help you fall asleep? Oh, that's great to hear. So the next trigger I have is actually a little bell. It's a bit of a unique one. This is actually a Tokyo Mew Mew bell, because do love my anime, but on a scale of 1 to 10, how helpful did you find that trigger? Yeah, that's fine, yeah. So, the next one we have is just kind of like a plastic pencil case, and there are actually some guitar picks inside, so I'm just going to start off with some good old plastic sounds. Yes, this does say space on the front, because I'm obsessed with space, so how helpful did you find that trigger? Yeah, that's great, yeah. And the second to last trigger that I have is some brushing, so just relax and close your eyes while I give you a good little brush. How much did you like that trigger? Yeah, that makes sense. So for the final trigger, I just have this stunning wooden tarot box. So relax and close your eyes. you like that trigger? That's great. And so that concludes the end of our kind of like sleep questionnaire and trigger test to kind of like help figure out what triggers might help you get a better night's sleep. We will obviously email you over kind of like a summary of the results and stuff. If you ever need our services again, then don't hesitate to stop by. We also hope you perhaps decide to recommend us to a friend, and we hope that you can get the best night's sleep possible. Take care, and we'll see you again soon.